Hello and welcome to week 2 of the Raikou recap. This is take 2 because I just went over this whole first game whilst not recording. So we're gonna start over. We're gonna try again. And go over this game. Leads off. Let's start with Terra captains. We have a Terra Ghost and a Terra Steel. We have Terra Ghost Avalug and Terra Steel Gallade. And we are playing against a Terra Ghost Chestnut. To start us off, we're gonna Electroshot. Like the sub. Once you get the first sub, like the Electroshot the first time, I think you gotta find a swap. I think you have to get out. Because I just don't think that, I don't think you want to take this 1-for-1 trade, and that's just what's going to end up happening here. You know, you're going to do 70%, and I think Spectre is just a good enough mon. I mean, there's no Ghost Resist on this entire team. That I don't know if you want to give that up. I think part of that is that it probably shouldn't have led. It is certainly a hard mon to lead. But we do it anyway. Came in. We're gonna get that special defense drop. We take this trade. Now I will say this is where things get really tough because Chestnut comes in here. It kills the only special attacker left. If I'm in this position instead of going Gallade, because I think this is where Irene just didn't do calcs, if I had to guess. Because you would theoretically be able to know that you don't win this 1v1 if you do calcs. I would have just gone straight into Sneasler. I mean, this thing can't really do anything to a Sneasler, like, offensively. And you can kind of fish for a poison. I'm assuming we're not unburdened. Maybe we are. This definitely would have been not the week to be unburdened. It would have been the week to be poison touch. And I would have just fished for status, fish for a poison, and try to get that going. Instead, we agility, which is gonna cost us half our health. We Night Slash, boom, 46, just not enough. Leechy's gonna come out. Then we go into Ogre Pawn. This Ogre Pawn is just gonna take 51 from this. It just gets chunked. Knock off. Okay, you get rid of its lefties. Lefties is fine. This is still where I would just go into this. Even if we are unburdened, I just still would try fishing. Because, I mean, we're going to come in, we're going to crunch. Oh, no, we don't crunch. We should have crunched. Crunch is good into everything. But we don't. And maybe this thing needed to be a little bit more attack invested, I guess, to threaten that. Once again, another chance we should have crunched. I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna calc on the side, but I'm fairly confident that would have gotten a kill. Let me check Avalug, Hisui defensive into Gardevoir. We'll just calc a Scarf. Crunch. Oh really? Would it have not? Am I being dumb? I thought this would have done way more damage. Where's Strong Jaw? Oh. How much did Rapid Spin do? Rapid Spin did with 35%. Are we just offensive? Or are we just adamant? No, we also have some offensive. Yeah, we're fully offensive. A crunch would have done 70 here. It wouldn't have killed. Damn, Chestnut's just that fucking bulky? My goodness. Okay, I was wrong then. Chestnut's just a demon. Instead, we sack our Sneasler here, and then the game's just over. Gardevoir gets to clean up. Which I guess, to be honest, even if we click Crunch, the game is over anyway, because it can just Psychic the last 3 mons. I'm assuming it's Scarfed. But yeah, that's going to be the game. I think a little bit of this was prep diff. I think some of it was, hey, we need to get Sneasler involved. But yeah, I think for the most part, there was a little bit of a prep diff here. Up next, we've got... oh, okay, it's going to go that way. We've got Devin Frisco versus Zako Traco. Our Terras are going to be Terra Poison our Balava, and Terra Ground on our Belly Bolt, and Terra Grass on our Tauros Paldea. Palafin's going to come in. Palafin v Latios. We're going to take that exchange. Once again, fellas, this Palafin is going to lead a lot of the games this season. Be prepared for it. Try to take a little bit more advantage of it than this. It is very difficult because Devin Frisco just has such a solid defensive backbone core that he could react to most things. But he does end up getting essentially no loss here. Gets the Intimidate here, actually. Kind of gains momentum back to where this Tauros is now a bit behind. I think Devin makes a mistake here. He goes into Ursaluna, he activates it, but I think it's a little bit, like, a little troll. I think it would have been better to go Palafin here. Maybe not. Maybe you're worried about the Terra Grass, but I think that you're risking a lot here. Slowking also would have been fine. I calced this live when we were watching the game. Slowking would have been completely fine. Iron Moth would have also been fine. Iron Moth actually could have been a little bit tricky. Arbalava would have also been good if you want to Terra this game. But we do end up doing this. They swap, which just means that you get a free kill. Which is a lot for Ursaluna. Corviknight's going to come back in. Flip turn. Goes into the Cincino. Tidy up. I believe it's a Brave Bird. I believe that's just what happens. Yep. And I think did they U-turn? I don't remember exactly what happens here. No, they just Brave Bird again. Corviknight down to 10%. It's a little tough now because your Latios answer just has kind of shifted to becoming Slowking. But Slowking is a great Latios answer. End up not really going to be able to do anything. That was with a special defense drop. Ursaluna is going to come back in. Latios does not kill. This Latios is also a very weird set. It is bulky specs, which is quite interesting. And then this is just what kind of happens here. He just has nothing to deal with this Slowking. Scald's going to come out. It's going to be super effective. We now go into our Balava. They get the rocks up. It's a little late for rocks, in my opinion, but they do end up getting them up anyway. Draco Meteor, yeah, they just come out. They just survive this Draco Meteor, no issue. Get on Luring, voice it down. Yeah, this is such a weird calc, but our Balava is AV here. Iron Treads will continue on coming in. Knockoff, gonna get rid of the AV. I think that's a good play. Your Latios still has to win the game, but it's just a big question of how. I think no, they don't Terra. Yeah, because just Slowking just gets to come in for free. Do we Scald? Yeah, we're gonna Scald. I don't know if you get the burn. Yeah, they do. They don't get the burn, but this is just a free chili. Draco's gonna come out. Oh, we do Thunder Wave. Thunder Wave's also good. Chili. I think this lets our Balava come back in. Did they Terra or not? I don't remember. Yeah, they do end up Terraing. They didn't want to get Toxicked. But then it just kind of makes it weaker to this Latios. But you're just like so fine into this Latios at this point. Luster Purge isn't going to do anything. You can then come in, actually just Scalds it. Yeah, Luster Purge really doesn't prevent Scalding. I think you should just Chili. Yeah, we do end up Chilling. And then I think Palafin gets to come in and just click Wave Crash twice, and the game is over. Oh, no, it takes a little bit more than twice. It takes 3 times. But yeah, Palafin picks up his first kills of the season. And Devin gets the first 6-0 of the season. Shout out my goat. Obviously a little biased towards my dog. But I think the big thing here is Zako just had literally nothing that was able to threaten Slowking. And so Devin was able to play this whole game on the back foot, but never being able to be punished for it. Devin basically didn't have to make a single read the entire game. He just had to play reactively. Opponent goes Latios. I go Corviknight. I go Corviknight. I go Corviknight. You know, U-turn, U-turn, U-turn. And then Corviknight gets slow. It's like, okay, well, opponent goes Latios. I gotta go Slowking. Opponent goes Tauros. I gotta go Slowking. You know, opponent goes Iron Treads. I go Slowking. Like, half of the team just had literally nothing that could have been done into Slowking, and the other half was unfortunately sacked very, very early on in the game, or it just isn't reliable, you know. Bellybolt struggled to get into this game, and it could have done something to Slowking, but it just didn't end up doing anything. Iron Moth didn't even get to show up today. Yeah, Devin with a little bit of a... There's a little messy things. I think there are 2 plays that I would have changed, but overall gets a 6-0. First 6-0 of the season. Shout out my dog. Oh, wow, this is not what I thought it would be. I thought this would be Cowboy J based on the top of my browser, but it is not. It is Coxabine versus Sci-Fi. Terra types are going to be Terra Ground Gudra and Terra Dark Girder. Interesting. I don't believe I've seen this game. So, let's get into it. We lead Avalugg. Avalugg lead is fairly... yeah, I like that we're punishing it. Whoa. We're eject button? Okay, I gotta go. That turn 1 is really bad. That's just not the time to get your Avalugg activated. I understand not wanting to deal with it turn 1, but I just think that just isn't the time to get activated. We're gonna get poisoned on our Gudra as well. And this guy's just done his job. The big thing I will say if you're Sci-Fi, go into Latias. Yep, do not let it go straight into, oh, we Calm Minded. That is crazy to do in front of a Gudra. Yeah, we're gonna get Thunder Waved. And, oh my goodness, we're gonna get crit. Yeah, I've not seen this game. Oh, wow. Genuinely quite lucky, I will say. A Draining Kiss there. I mean, that's what happens when you risk Thunder Waves, but if a Draining Kiss gets off there, I think this Rotom just might die. It certainly loses basically all of its health. It heals... I mean, we're getting back up to at least 60 on Latias. But actually, let's bring out the calc again. Latias, oh, you Calm Mind into Rotom Wash. Let's say we are Draining Kiss. Draining Kiss, and we were +4, I think. Actually, never mind. How much is Hex doing? Hex doing to a... It did 19 to a +2 defensively. But it was parad. Or status. Paralyzed. Yeah, okay, it actually would have just been basically on pace with, the recovery would have been basically on pace with what Hex was doing. If it was recover, it could have been really tough. Because then we're just able to recover and get more Calm Minds, so we have to get a little lucky, but... Anyways, Pearl was a bit lucky. Put us into a interesting position. I think this is actually a chance for Volt Switch into a Weezing Galar. No, we won't do that. We are going to Volt Switch now. I think you got to go Weezing. No. Oh my god, we're not Boots on Avalugg? We live that, right? Yeah. Rapid Spin. Okay. Works out. I doubt that's a range. It's just Avalugg is so bulky. Wouldn't shock me if it just isn't a range. Clefable's going to come in. There's not really anything to take an Earthquake here. We're going to taunt? Yeah, I don't think that that's a wise play. I would have loved to see Earthquake on this guy. I think that I'm seeing nothing that would have liked an Earthquake. Blast comes in. God damn, this guy is fucking strong. Oh, we're Life Orb. That makes sense. We're gonna get off a Strange Team kill. Are we Calm Mind? No, we're Wish. Moonblast's gonna come out. Yeah, that does a lot of damage. Wait. We're unaware Life Orb? Wow. This Rotom is putting in fucking so much work. Genuinely. Thunderwave. Oh, Volt Switch. Oh my goodness. Koxabi is just a little bit lucky, but also playing this very, very well. Yeah, Gouging Fire is going to come out. Proto Attack. Okay. Oh, okay. We've lost the game. Oh, wow. Okay. Does this not have a Dragon move? Brother. Morning Sun. Flare Blitz. Okay. Wait a minute. I actually don't know who won this game. I do not know. Flare Blitz. Ooh. Pain Split. Morning Sun. Morning Sun again. Can we get up another DD? Looking for a confusion. You can get up another DD here. Do you need more than one? I don't know if you do. You just have to not get poisoned. I don't think you should be Strange Steaming at all. I mean, I guess you can go for this. This is just... I think it's better to get a poison than a confuse. Okay, we do get the Flare Blitz. Okay, confusion's over. Outrage. I think that's game. I think Iron Rocky Helmet isn't going to do it. I think that's game. Outrage, outrage. You're hoping for a confusion here. Oh, -1 speed. Maybe we're Scarfed. Scarfed Darkrai would collect it. No, we are not. A great turnaround from Sci-Fi. Had to get a little bit lucky, but honestly, considering what happened with the Rotom, I feel like the luck was pretty even this game. I will say congratulations, Sci-Fi. That was a great turnaround. I just think Girder was probably, in my opinion, a really weak bring to this week. I mean, maybe you just need Defog, but if you're going to be Hazard Stagging with Glim, I don't really like Defog that much. Lando T, maybe, I don't know. I feel like Lando T needs to be the guy for this, for Gouging Fire, and it just isn't. Like, I don't feel like that was bulky. Because what, it took a neutral... It just took yeah, it wasn't even +1 attack. A +1 attack Flare Blitz, I mean, it's still Flare Blitz, but Landorus, Therian, OU defensive into, what is this guy? Gouging Fire. I always forget to get this guy's name. Gouging Fire, we'll do Uber's UU standard. No, I guess that's fair. Oh, wait, no, Intimidate is, oh, no. I guess it's fair. It is just really hard to live. You know, I mean, if we're fully defensive, it's probably easier to live. No, I mean, we just don't live from that range. I think we just needed to preserve this. Or we needed to really preserve Avalugg. I think the wasting of Avalugg is what really caused problems here. But congratulations, gets it done. Assuming Proto Attack is being... Yep, okay. Yeah, congratulations to Sci-Fi. Good win. Up next, we got G-Walker versus Firebro. I don't remember how Firebro's doing. I know he won week 1, so I guess I'll find out how he's doing week 2. I didn't really look at the how these games actually win. I just kind of opened up the replays. So Regen Slot versus a team with a lot of endgame potential. Also, we have Heatran. Heatran should be really, really strong into a team like this. So, very, very important. Going into this game, one, let's look at Terra types. Terra Fairy Rotom and Terra Ghost Porygon 2. And then we have Terra Steel Alcremie and Terra Fairy Flygon. This Mienshao is going to lead every game. I mean, for this team, it's going to be Scarfed every game, and it's going to lead every game. Let's see if we play around it being Scarfed. We don't. We're very lucky. Okay, G-Walker. Come on, man. What are we doing? Go into your Heatran. You have confirmation it's Scarf. Go into your Heatran. Don't lose this guy for nothing. This is just a massive mistake on G-Walker's part. First things first, if a Pokemon that is often Scarfed leads with U-turn, if an often Scarfed Pokemon leads, it's probably Scarfed with U-turn. That is how this game works. I would have expected it to click U-turn and played under that assumption. You got lucky that it missed the 10%. And then we could have gone Heatran. And I don't know if we're Flame Body. Probably not. Could have gone Heatran, taken nothing. We could have gone Porygon, taken nothing. We could have gone Quackable, taken nothing. But any of those situations puts us into a better spot. I actually prefer Heatran here. I think Heatran is the most threatening into the opposing team. But instead we just let this guy go down and get no value. I mean, this guy's got Regenerator. It's not going to take him long for him to get his health back. We do realize that it's Scarf anyway and go into that. But yeah, Heatran would have just been significantly better to go. Would have been able to keep a Ogre Paw in this game. We end up Terra Fairying. I think Terra Fairy was also a little bit of a weak choice. I think we're not Pain Split on this Rotom, which if you're going to be a bulky Rotom, you got to be Pain Split. You just have to be. Especially into a team that like this. You would be able to get all of their health in situations, but we end up not being able to do any of that. Porygon 2 is going to come in here. Jonathan India. So this is also a game where PP stalling is going to happen. When that happens, I'll briefly go over kind of what's going on, and then we will probably genuinely skip like 50 turns. But for now, we'll keep going. Glow King, I'm wondering if it has Toxic. Toxic would have been a pretty good bring. It might just be AV. I actually don't know. I haven't really calced it. Ice Beam comes out. Shadow Ball's coming in. That's possibly AV. Considering it hasn't ever clicked Chili, I'm thinking it's probably AV. Oh, Mole's gonna come in. Dragon Darts. Actually, this week, genuinely, a mixed Dragapult would have been very good. Being able to, like, change into Shadow Ball, like, one Shadow Ball would be sick here, but Dragon Darts into Shadow Ball would have been phenomenal. Alcremie's gonna go up, +2. Terra Steel, Earth Power, nice. Wow, that did no damage. Jesus. This is where it actually starts. Magma Storm basically wins this, by the way, if we wanted to bring that. Magma Storm would have been good to bring into the very defensive Regen Slop team. But we decided not to, and for that purpose, we're going to go to Hyper Fast for a little bit. Or we'll just go fast. We're going to basically, once Draining Kiss is revealed, it is fully confirmed that that you can't kill this Heatran. Like, you just don't do enough damage. As you can see, Heatran is getting all of its health back. We do get a crit. Yeah. I don't like being Draining Kiss here. I gotta say it. Be Stored Power. If you're gonna run Recover, be Stored Power. I don't even know if they have a Dark type. Just be Stored Power and break through this, because you win this game for sure if you're Stored Power. But yeah, as you can see, it's doing basically 6% a turn on Draining Kiss, and we've only gotten 16. So, you know. There is one thing, I will pause real quick right here, and then we're going to skip a bunch of turns. Save 2 Earth Powers. Just save like 2 or 3. I like what you do in not revealing the rest of your moves. I think actually you should have gone with your Flash Cannons first. But, like, save a few Earth Powers, because you've now locked in, and you now know their moveset, so you know that you have more PP. When you throw out Stealth Rocks, throw out all 32. You do not need to ever get Stealth Rocks back up. In fact, you should have started throwing up Stealth Rocks a long time ago. The Expected Crooker would have brought Store Power. Yeah, but you got to be able to break through the Heatran as well. When you're bringing a Setup Sweeper, make sure you've got what you can do. Also, you know, if you're out Creamy, you can do the math, and I'm pretty sure there's like a good chance you should know at this point that you don't win this war. But we keep going. This is just like a complete waste of time for both of these players. I think this is genuinely 50 turns. We got to go through. We're actually going to go to hyperfast for a little bit. But both of these people stall for a while. I'm kind of waiting for a specific thing to happen. But the big thing is make sure to save an Earth Power too. Earth Power is good into this team. It's good into Chiyu. It's good into Slowking. It's good into this. Save like 4 of these. We finally use all of them out. Okay, pause. We're going to go back to fast. If you didn't notice it, we've now shown Power Gem. If you can see it, it's got 32 PP. We don't have 32 PP left on this. We also should have saved some Acid Armors on this Alcremie. This is instantly the moment you should swap. Neither of you can win this. Well, actually, Heatran shouldn't swap. Heatran should stay in. They should have saved some Earth Powers. I'm glad they used all of their Stealth Rocks. And I'm glad they kind of locked them into committing. I think you save like 3 or 4 Earth Powers. 4 Earth Powers. Use all your Stealth Rocks like you did. Maybe use some Flash Cannons, because Flash Cannons aren't really that useful anymore in this game. They're kind of neat for Flygon, but that's it. But you only really need like 1 or 2 Flash Cannons the rest of this game. And then start going into the Power Gems. Once Power Gem is revealed, Alcremie needs to be the one that swaps. Heatran wins this for sure. Alcremie will start struggling significantly earlier, and thus it is better for Heatran to stay in. We end up Calm Mining. We're still Calm Mining, just so you guys know. Power Gem, Calm Mine. Yeah, like, we are just wasting all of our chances. We're down to 8 Calm Mines. We are actually going to go into Hyperfast for a little bit, because nothing happens for a few turns. We're now at turn 85. Alright, we finally swap. We go back to normal. And then Power Gem is going to do a good chunk of damage. Throw out another Power Gem. Fuck it. We swap back in. Okay. This is an interesting conundrum. They can start swapping back and forth. Flash Cannon's going to come out. Lomo's actually not gaining health here, though. Slowking comes in. This is also like if you had kept an Earth Power or 2, we get a threat in the Slowking. We still would add plenty of Power Gems, which we don't even really need. But yeah, we finally get to mix things up. One of the regenerators is down. It is end up confirming to be Assault Vest, which is what I thought. One of the regenerators is down. We now have a plus attack boost. Chiyu's going to come in. Now, fellas, if this Mon takes rocks damage, what item is it? It came in against the Quaquaval. What item is it? It's Scarf. Do we play around it? I genuinely don't remember. We do not. But it doesn't really matter, actually. We still get a +1. Now, even though we get a +1, we know Mienshao is Scarf. Do we have Aqua Jet? We do not. We let this guy go down. Fine, I guess. That's fine. You have to be careful here. This is also another thing. Dragapult would have been great to be mixed here. A mixed Dragapult wins this game, like, for sure. Dragon Darts is going to come out. Didn't do 17 twice. Funnily enough, it needs a little bit more. It needs a bit more to actually get done there, to get that kill. We're going to recover. We've got so few recovers left. Do we throw out a Flash Cannon? I think you throw out another. No, it's fine. Okay. We're Ice Beam Thunder Wave recover. I think if we're actually Thunderbolt, this game is unlosable. I don't think. Also, if we had saved Terra, if we didn't use this Terra Fairy here, and we're either Terra Fairy on this guy or Terra Ghost, this game is unlosable, especially for Terra Fairy. But it looks like we're gonna boost back up again, but we still lose this 1v1. We still don't have enough power points. We're at what, 14 or 13 versus 14. You technically could be left on one Draining Kiss after this is over. But all it takes is a swap, and you're like fine. We're gonna recover. Yeah, and then we swap out anyway, so we can no longer ever get Calm Mind back up. Should be able to go Porygon too. Ice Beam? Or... Dude, if we're Thunderbolt, this game is so easy. We're Shadow Ball. We're gonna Shadow Ball again. I'm presuming. No, we Thunder Wave. Okay, Thunder Wave's not bad. We get a Para. Recover. I assume it's gonna knock off our item. Yep, it's gonna knock us off. Shadow Ball. Negative special defense drop. It's not gonna stay in. Should just be able to keep Shadow Balling though. Thunder Wave. Yep, we're gonna T-Wave up. Dude, if we're just Thunderbolt instead of Shadow Ball as well. Oh, this game is so much easier. Oh, wow, we got pretty lucky there. I think a close combat might have killed. I would have honestly gone Dragapult there. I would not have risked the close combat. I guess it would have been bad, but Manshao is down, which is one of the big things preventing a Dragapult win. This thing, when it runs out of Draining Kisses, will be done. I would go into Heatran here, actually, genuinely. Like, technically, nothing really wants to take Power Gems. And there's not really another use for Heatran, and you want to keep this thing as healthy as possible. I think Fire Bro kind of threw by letting Mienshao go. I think you need Mienshao for this endgame. We do get a recovery off. We're going to go back into Alcremie. Once again, there's nothing that can stop, like, just swapping these two and waiting for, like... Technically, there is... An Endless Battle Clause might have had to come into play here. But, again, once the Draining Kisses are done, Dragapult can kind of come in here, and there's not really anything that can stop it. So you want to kind of use up all of the... wait for them to use up every Draining Kiss. We still got 4 recovers. We'll let them Draining Kisses one more time. Then I'm assuming, yep, we'll recover up. And they've got no more Draining Kisses. Once Draining Kiss is done, just go into Dragapult. Just go straight to Dragapult. There's no point in continuing here. They cannot damage you. I mean, we're probably Scarfed Pult, if I had to guess. Maybe Bandit. I don't really know. I didn't do any calcs on it. But yeah, we should 100% be in Dragapult right now. I guess it doesn't really matter because they're just sacking this. Also, if they're sacking this, just throw out T-Waves. Like... You know, at least throw out a few here and there to save some power points. Your Shadow Ball PP is somewhat important still. Especially now. Like, they're going to click Struggle this turn. Don't throw out another Shadow Ball here. Alomola is going to come out. We're going to Wish. And you should just... Yeah, I mean, they're going to probably get a Barra here, I guess. I don't know. I think once again, you probably still go Dragapult here, and you just try and get this kill. Actually, can they even kill this a little more? I don't remember how this game ended. I do not remember who won this game. Flygon's gonna come in. I assume they're gonna go straight back into Alomola. No, they're gonna U-turn. Can they actually not deal with flip turn U-turn? Oh my goodness. Surely Dragapult can, right? Like, surely you can just... Like, go into Dragapult on this. Please. There we go. We go into Dragapult. Alright. They get parried. That's good anyway. Okay. Scald. Just gotta avoid some burns. This is, again, being mixed would have done wonders. I think, actually, even there, if they get a burn, it's over. I think it, I'm assuming this thing just dies to yeah, a Dragon Darts. Yep. They do end up winning the game. A fucking crazy long game. 151 turns. One of the longer games that we've ever had in the league. But yeah, Firebro goes down. Regen Slop is 1-1. We'll see how it does tomorrow. I think its game is tomorrow. But up next, we have G-Walker versus Korza. No, not G-Walker. Sorry, Seeking Pog versus Korza. Our Terras this game are going to be Terra Poison, Hitmontop, and Terra Water, Kilowattrel. I gotta say, I've not been a fan of... I've seen Hitmontop Terra being used in previous seasons to some success. I'm not a big fan of it anymore. I just haven't seen much success out of it. But we'll see how it does this game. Terra Poison is a little interesting. I'm not really... I guess it's for Iron Valiant, actually. That makes sense. If we just don't have an answer for that. I expect it's going to come out. This thing just has A's, right? Like, surely. Even if it doesn't, it probably wins this 1v1. Infestation. Okay, that's one way to do it. Infestation Scald. No, Surf. Oh, this thing doesn't get Scald, does it? Yeah, Infestation's is genuinely interesting. It looks like it doesn't actually win this 1v1. Is it not better to just get the +4? I feel like you would kill in less turns. I guess, actually, it has Recover. You definitely don't kill. I guess it's fine, because you're just waiting for Infestation to run out. Oh, no, it's not going to Recover. Okay. Probably doesn't have it, if I had to guess. Oh, no, it's Protect. Why is this Infestation lasting so long? Is this like a Binding Band? No, it's Black Sludge. What? One more para? No. It's just not Recover. But I guess we have nothing else. Here, we're going for the Protect. This is so weird. The T-Wave is putting in lots of work. We do end up picking up that kill. Infestation won't proc this turn. Iron Valiant. I'm sure this thing can kill. It's probably special. Yep, Focus Blast. Wow. Focus Blast. That's tough. Okay, Rotom Wash gonna get off in an Overheat. A little bit of Chipium. I like Burning Swampert. That's health. It's not... Hey, if Leftovers isn't gonna work anymore, that is huge for this guy. And it's also just no longer really that threatening. I'm assuming this is where we would just Terra Poison. I think you just don't want to risk getting poisoned. And I think the EQ is just not going to do that much damage. CC. This just doesn't do any fucking damage either. Kilowattrel will come in. Landorus. Yeah, but they have the Terra Blast. I'm pretty sure they're not going to be... Oh, okay. Wait. Ooh, catch the U-turn. Okay, Incineroar, that's going to be a Defiant boost. What are we doing? Substitute. Okay. Big thing here. Big thing here for Apes. I hate the move Substitute on Ape. There are some times where it is extremely circumstantially good. Substitute, does it... No, you should know. Wait, how did it... Wait, really? I guess it did. Okay. You should have just Drain Punch there as well. But, hey, we've got Rage Fist, we've got entry points, we've got, ooh, damn. Okay. Toadscruel, is Toadscruel faster? I guess we're just a slower Toadscruel. This Toadscruel's got Earth Power, right? Yeah, it's just gonna kill. Yep. I think it's actually just game. I think we probably should have gone probably should have gone Rotom. Sludge Bomb's gonna do a good chip. Oh, it doesn't even kill. Jesus. Okay, we're gonna keep this thing alive. Go into Samurai Isui. Okay. Well, if we get a spike up, then Toadscruel's dead. Are we Scarfed? If we're Scarfed, is this game... No, we're not Scarfed. If we're Sashed, we're in a great position. But I'd assume we're probably AV. Here, yeah, we're jetting. We're AV. Most likely. Yeah, we're AV. By the way, just if you're AV, know that you live. You're definitely AV. Yeah, we're heavy duty boots on this. This just clean up. I think this just cleans up. Oh, you had the game. If you just aqua cutter here, right? If you just aqua cutter here, let's Samurott, Hisui, OU Assault Vest into Iron Valiant. Like, surely you have the game. Razor Shell would have done, or no, Aqua Cutter. Wait, isn't that just worse? This is just slightly worse. How much did Aqua Jet do? We did 24. Actually, what were we? 80, 89? You don't have the game. Actually, I think if you're Razor Shell, you do. Dependent on how much we are invested. Oh, we did 28. We're actually more attack invested than this. Are we 252? We could be 252. Oh, we have to be 252. 62. No, I'm actually pretty sure if you Aqua Cutter, you do just win the game. What? 28. Yeah, if you're, you have to be basically max attack adamant. So Aqua Cutter would have done minimum 62, which we were what? What was our health? Damn, it's going back 2 turns. Which we were 81, which then no matter what, yeah, even both minimums 62 to 23 would have ended up killing. So this actually goes from what should have been a 4-0 win to Corza to a 1-0 loss, which is like a 5 differential sweep there. That is massive. Yeah, that is quite massive. Gets the focus blast as well. Unfortunate, you know, getting hit by 2 focus blasts always feels bad, but you could have had that game. Definitely a tossed game there from Corza. Big misplay on my Samurai, but yeah, he noticed in the in-game chat. Up next, we have iCharlie versus Old Cowboy Jay. This game I have talked to both these players a lot about. Without further ado, though, let's get right into it. We are Terra Normal Talks, and Terra Fighting on our Palmont. This Palmont's actually a pretty interesting set. I normally don't see it that often, but we're gonna lead. This lead here, Terrapagos versus Cyclozar. Jay actually made a misplay. He thought he was leftovers. He just isn't. Shouldn't have happened. That toxic miss also, you know, little helpful. If Jay's leftovers, that position is a little bit better, but does end up getting the toxic on the Cyclozar. It doesn't matter too much. Screamtail's gonna come in versus Vapo. If you see a Vaporeon do that much damage, you should know for a fact that it is Specs, which Jay does end up figuring out. And because of that, he gets to go into Terrapagos. Nice job using the Volt Switch there. We do Terra Starstorm. Keeping this guy a little bit low is quite important. Vapo is going to come back in. We're going to get up the rocks. Scald comes out. Going to do a decent chunk of damage. Get the burn as well. Throws out a Toxic. It might have been better to just Terra Starstorm over Toxic. I don't know exactly how much it would have done. Anyways, it isn't what happened. Polypaw is going to come in, hit a close combat. By the way, if you don't know, this was a full HP, full defense Rillaboom. This is just a banded, adamant Palmont. Like, this guy is just a beast. Beast of a Pokemon. Going to Jirachi. Stevie Steel. We click U-turn. Don't get the kill. But do get to go Moltres. Leech Seed comes out. This is an opportunity. Also, I personally, this turn, if you see Leech Seed, next turn, Protect, I would have punished this by going Screamtail. Screamtail is very close to having enough HP to get back in this game, but it is just a little bit out of it. And this like going Screamtail there would have been massive. We U-turn here. We go into Tinglu. I believe Jirachi U-turns here. Yep. Jirachi U-turns here. This is always Palmot. Palmot, if you don't know, the only thing that can even survive it is a Volcarona. Everything else dies to close combat at this point. And Volcarona is slower than Palmot if it survives. Because of the way the calc is, you have to be like max HP, max defense. So even if... So there's just no longer a swap in. Palmot gets a kill every time it comes in. This turn right here, Jay makes a massive mistake. You see this guy come in. If you have a guy that is a massive threat, and you look at it and you say, well, it can't really do anything to me, I'm just going to click a button again. 99% of the time, you're making a massive mistake. Which Jay ends up doing. Jay ends up letting this thing go down, which if Polypause doesn't go down, this game is so free. Screamtail would have been a great switch in here. If we go Jirachi, we just get to click U-turn next turn and then get another kill. We are slower than the Cyclozar because Cyclozar is scarfed. We do end up making that play. We U-turn, go into Screamtail. Screamtail is going to get that health back that it desperately needed to get back into this game. And then it does get to also protect this turn and get a little bit more health back. I think does D-Gleam not kill? No, we go into Roaring Moon, knowing that it's going to Shadow Ball. Predict it with a Tinglu swap in. What ends up happening here? Do we click Acro or do we Dragon Dance? Oh, we Taunt. Definitely should have clicked Acro here. I'm not sure it kills. In fact, I'm fairly confident it doesn't. Roaring Moon. Where's Dragon Dance? Into Cyclizar. We'll assume AB, even though it's not. Actually, it might have. It could have killed. I don't know the exact spread on this again, but if we had clicked Aggro there, the game might have been over. Toxtricity is slow. Like, everything is slower than Tinglu. It just might have been over if we had just clicked Acro there. That's another opportunity Jay had to kind of basically take the game. Toxtricity comes out. You do just get a Protect here. We don't. You just should have protected here. It's free scouting. We do go back into Maryland Moon. Do we click Acro now? Yeah, we do end up clicking Acro this time. Cyclozar is going to come in. I think he just Dragon Dances in front of it, which is, like, insane. Tough stuff. Don't end up getting a kill. Now, you may think that this game is kind of over for old Cowboy J, but literally nothing can handle this Moltres, like, at all. We do end up getting 2 Hurricanes in a row. I think he gets, like, 4 Hurricanes in a row. This ends up coming down. We Roost, get all that scrumptious health back. Should just Roost again. Oh, no, we Flamethrower. That's fine. I think we actually Flamethrower again before roosting. Oh, no, we Roost now. We should Roost one more time just to be healthy. No, we do end up going Jirachi. Jirachi's fine. Jirachi's a fine play here. It puts a really bad spot on this incoming Volk. There we go, Moltres, Quiver Dance. Jay also, I will say, Jay made a prep mistake. If your answer to Volcarona is going to be a Moltres, run Brave Bird. You know, this thing can quiver up. It can cause a lot of issues. We end up getting a confusion, which really ends up mattering. Yeah, it hits ourselves in confusion, which is a crazy way to end that game. Devin, or sorry, Old Cowboy J ends up winning that game. Lots of opportunities to win that game that he did end up missing. And it kind of ended up coming down to luck. But in the end, he comes away with the game. And Charlie now down to 0-2. Gotta get a win in there, dog. Well, hopefully we see one tomorrow. Sorry for regen slop. Gotta root for my dog, my girl. No, I shouldn't say my girl. My dog. Charlie. Up next, dude, this game is fucking whack. I remember a little bit about this game. This game is a weird one. Let's just get into it. Moo versus Belly. Our Terras here are going to be Terra Water, Hariyama, and a Terra Poison, Granbull, which I guess is fine. It's pretty nothing burger Terra. So we go into Squawkabilly and sacrifice it for no reason. We 100% should have gone Granbull. Granbull's always the play there. We do make a double here. I think the double's interesting. The double's interesting, but it should have been to bundle. I think, like, no matter who comes in on Granbull, like, even if it's Petch, if it's Gliscor, Ogerpon isn't doing anything to it, and it probably should have just been bundle. I think the most common plays here, if you're going to make a double, Iron Bundle does get the most off of this. Great Tusk's going to come in. Great Tusk is an interesting mod. Dude, this fucker does no damage. Look at this, dude. Mandibuzz is just beefy. One beefy, big-ass dog. Keldio's going to come in. This is just going to do a billion. Yeah, Keldeo, I don't remember what Keldeo is. I think it's just boots this game. Petron will come in. Classic. Probably going to recover. Want to get that scrumptious little health back. Yeah, like, this guy's not doing anything. We don't have Swords Dance and Ogerpon. Should have had Swords Dance and Ogerpon, might I say. If we have Swords Dance and Ogerpon, we're actually in a pretty solid position. But we don't. So, what can you do? End up having to go to Great Tusk, but there's just nothing that deals with this Petron left. Petron could have just stayed in, by the way. Petron 100% doesn't die there. Could have just stayed in. Nothing really threatens Petron. In fact, I think that this game probably could have been a 6-0, to be honest. We do get a Vacuum Wave from Keldeo there. Get up a nice clean kill. Armbardle's going to come in. Hariyama will come in to take that. Just 13 scrumptious. We do end up Terra Watering. I don't think we should have. It technically just makes us weak to Freeze Dry. I think staying fighting would have been better. Skeletor's just going to come in there, take no damage. Yeah, go to Gliscor. Gliscor is going to take absolutely nothing from this guy. Torch Song will come out, take nothing. And then it should be able to just go back into Hariyama. We honestly didn't need to get burned at all there. Getting burned was a little silly. Yeah, like, we just take more damage from Freeze Dry here. We definitely should have stayed... fighting, in my opinion, but I don't think it matters. I think this just gets one kill and then dies to the Vacuum Wave coming in. We also could have just gone Keldeo and Vacuum Waved, and we live. Even if you get crit, you have Meow in the back, who I believe is Scarfed. And even if that fails, Petron is fine. There was definitely a way to get some differential here that was not gotten. I think overall... I think this game could have been the second 6-0 of the season, but instead we make some little strange plays. Still got a clean-ish win. Definitely a little rough around the edges on some of these parts, but I think a lot of this game was not necessarily Moo playing great, which I don't want to take away from Moo's win, but I feel like Bielli just didn't have answers to a lot of mons, and just kind of got prep diffed. I mean, Squawkabilly came to this game and did absolutely nothing. It was a 5-on. It was a 5v4, or sorry, a 6v5 on turn 1, essentially. I mean, Squawkabilly just got sacked to the win. And then, you know, a lot of these Mons just had literally nothing they could do in front of a Pecharunt, which created a lot more extra issues to deal with. But that's going to be all for the Raikou recap. This one, actually, I believe is shorter than the other one. We kind of sped up through the... kind of had an early, quick few games and then sped through that Stolly game quite a bit, so I'm a little shocked. But thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next week. Goodbye.